You're watching Force 13's live streaming service.
It's Force 13's Australian and Oceania channel for Wednesday, the 3rd of August 2022. What does one say about how this year has proceeded when we look at the massive amount of rain that the Australian continent has received, especially here on the east coast of Australia? We're definitely not in the clear. Long-lasting rain, wind and storm event impacts southwestern Australia as a series of stronger cold fronts sweep across the region. These fronts produce the kind of weather one only sees in Western Australia about once a year with strong and potentially damaging winds expected to last several days across the state's west and southwestern. Strong winds, squally showers began to impact the state's southwest Monday morning as the first cold front approached, with the Cape Naturalisti and Busselton Jetty recording 91 kilometres an hour and 85 kilometre an hour wind gusts. Strong winds, showers and thunderstorms continue and has prompted the Weather Bureau to issue a top priority severe weather warning for damaging winds and damaging surf. The latest information is for Ikula, the lower west, the southwest, the south coastal, the southeast coastal, the Great Southern, the central wheat belt, parts of the Gascoyne, the goldfields and the central west districts. Damaging winds continue across the south of the state. A series of vigorous cold fronts continued across the south of the state through till early Thursday. Gusty showers and thunderstorms likely along these fronts as well as in the rest of the flow in their wake. Damaging wind gusts in excess of 90 kilometres an hour possible over the southwestern WA, with winds easing in the western warning area from late this afternoon, clearing the east by Thursday morning. However, damaging winds averaging 65 kilometres an hour with peak gusts in excess of 100 kilometres an hour possible about the exposed locations along the west coast, south of and including Perth during this morning and easing late afternoon. But that's not the end of it. Damaging wind gusts may cause damage to homes and property and are more likely along the coast and nearby inland, becoming more isolated further inland. The potential for significant wind gusts with showers and thunderstorms likely to continue. This weather system is expected to be windier and lasting longer than a typical front, and is likely to produce the kind of weather only seen once a year. And as mentioned, the Bureau has a top priority severe weather warning for damaging surf. And locations under the damaging winds: Albany, Bunbury, Busselton, Esperance, Kalgoorlie, Katanning, Mandurah, Manjimup, the Margaret River, Meriton, Moa, Mount Barker, Narrachin, Northland, and Perth. Cape Leeuwin yesterday recorded a wind gust of 135 kilometres an hour at 10 to 1 Tuesday morning, followed by Bickley 117, Busselton Jetty 113. There's a sheep graziers warning in place and a gale warning for the Perth local waters: Geraldton, Lesserson, Perth, Bunbury Geography, Leeuwin, Albany, Esperance and Ikula coast. Strong wind warning to Millville waters and the Gascoyne coast. Not much has changed. South Australia too is getting their fair share of the severe weather. For damaging winds, the Adelaide Metropolitan, Mount Lofty Ranges, the Lower Eyre Peninsula, the Kangaroo Island, the Murray Lands, the Upper South East, the Lower South East, parts of the West Coast, the York Peninsula, Mid-North, the Riverland and the Northwest Pastoral Districts. A broad and deep low pressure system currently lies to the south of the state, with a series of embedded cold fronts associated with the low extending across the state. Strong to damaging west to northwesterly winds expected to ease over eastern parts of the state early this morning, but will remain along the southern and western parts. Conditions will further ease during this morning over all but the far west, before increasing again late tonight as a second stronger cold front approaches from the southwest. The wind factor, damaging winds averaging 50 to 65 kilometres an hour, with peak gusts in excess of 90 kilometres an hour expected. Damaging winds expected over the Adelaide metropolitan area early this morning. Possibility of showers and thunderstorms associated with the first cold front. Locations that could be affected: Adelaide, Port Lincoln, Mount Gambier, Ceduna, Kingscote and Naukuti. Severe weather is no longer occurring in the Eastern Air Peninsula, the Flinders, the Northeast Pastoral Districts, therefore the warning has been cancelled. Wind gusts recorded 111 kilometres an hour at Neptune Island, 100 at Cape Willoughby, 91 at Cleve, 87 at Port Augusta, 85 at Redinda, 83 kilometres an hour at Ceduna. And Victoria too is under a severe weather warning, possibly for destructive winds. East Gippsland, the southwest, northeast, the west, South Gippsland and the Wimmera forecast districts. It's for damaging winds, so the BI is actually downgraded. Damaging winds averaging 65 kilometres an hour, peak gusts of up to 110 kilometres an hour occurring over the elevated areas of the eastern ranges. Damaging winds about the east will ease during Wednesday afternoon. Damaging winds also expected to redevelop about the southwest during Wednesday evening, with speeds averaging 50 to 60 kilometres an hour also expected, and peak gusts of 90. Locations that could be affected: Hamilton, Mount Borbor, Falls Creek, Mount Hotham, Mount Buddha and Omeo. Mount Hotham reported a wind gust of 128 kilometres an hour at 20 minutes past 2 this morning. However, Mount William reported a gust of 122 kilometres an hour. Mount Buddha 113 kilometres an hour. Faulkner Beacon 104. Gilmore Gap reported a gust of 91 kilometres an hour last night. The Bureau of Meteorology has cancelled a road weather alert for Melbourne. However, initial flood watch was issued yesterday for parts of the northeast Victoria. New warning has been issued, minor flood warning for the Severn and Castle Creeks. There's a sheep graziers warning. Gale warning remains in place for the Port Phillip Bay, west and central coast. The western port, central Gippsland and east Gippsland coast, strong wind warning. Now we switch across to New South Wales. Severe weather warning for damaging winds, heavy rainfall. Here we go again. It looks like New South Wales is going to cop it again. It's for the Illawarra, the south coast, southern tablelands, the southwest slopes, the Snowy Mountains, the ACT. Damaging winds developing over the southeast with heavy rainfall possible from early Thursday, and I'll be looking at the rainfall scale this morning, and I'm hoping that around lunchtime I'll be able to put a video out. A complex low pressure system continues to deepen south of the Great Australian Bight, and associated trough and cold front resulting in vigorous northwesterly winds developing this morning, as well as the potential for heavy rainfall from Thursday morning, and the front will move offshore early Friday morning. Now, damaging winds averaging 80 to 90 kilometres an hour, peak gusts in excess of 125 kilometres an hour likely to continue for the alpine areas above 1900 metres. Blizzard conditions also possible over the alpine areas above 1900 millimetres this morning. The Bureau has issued an initial flood watch for inland New South Wales central and south west coast. Sheep grazers warning also in place. Strong wind warning the Illawarra, Batemans and Eden coast. Now we'll switch down to Tasmania, and they have a road weather alert along with minor flood warnings for the Mersey, Meander, North Esk rivers, the Macquarie River, and a flood watch for the north, northeast, northwest catchments. So once again, Tasmania has a number of warnings, the flood warnings for some of the river systems, so flood watch. And just looking at another news item, I think about 10 million Australians are currently under a severe weather warning. It's 4:13, coming up to 7:30 on the east coast of Australia, and this is a view of the Perth radar. It's 4:13, Australian Oceania Channel. It's just after the 7:30 here on the east coast of Australia, where New South Wales, Victoria, the ACT, Snowy Mountains, Tasmania and South Australia all under a severe weather warning. It's 4:13, Australia. Current capital city temperatures 23.3 in Darwin, 7.3 in Canberra, 11.1 in Hobart, just under 12 for Adelaide, 12.4 for Perth, 13.7 here in Brisbane, and a little bit warmer to what it has been, but I think the cold is going to come back. 12.4 Melbourne, 13.5 in Sydney. We also have breaking news coming up.